couple weeks ago
Right.
to talk
And
about
you know
that.
how everything in Australia wants to kill you?
Yes.
Well, there's 3 native birds in Australia that will pick up embers from a campfire or anything, take them to a dry field, and drop the ember in order to catch it on fire so all the animals scurry and they can catch food easier.
Those
wow.
are diabolical
Yeah, they are.
birds.
That's crazy.
Smart. They're smart, actually. That's very
That's
smart.
like the whistling kite, the black kite, and the brown falcon. So they have to resort to setting their home on fire to get food.
Wow. And
I
and,
wonder-
and in all of our wisdom, we haven't been able to bring those birds over here yet because they.
I know. It's, you would think someone would, hey, this would be a good idea.
Yeah, let's bring these birds
We
over
don't have
here.
enough birds of prey. Let's bring the brown falcon, and he'll go around. But they'll go around to, like, if you're, like, cooking something at your camp, they'll go pick up an ember, take it to a field, and drop it.
Well, think about that. I mean, their beaks. I mean, they feel no pain, I guess, or no.
I don't know. I'm not a bird.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
That's pretty cool, though. But
I
yeah,
had
it's
something
scary.
cool with animals this weekend. If you can see my shirt, I'm wearing a bulldog water polo shirt.
Yeah.
My daughter plays for the Bulldog Water Polo Club. It's
How old
coached
is your
by
daughter?
Natalie Benson. She's 14.
And she's playing water polo? That's hardcore.
It's hardcore. So Natalie Benson, if you don't know, is the women's coach at Fresno State. She is a 2-time Olympian champion, 3-time national champion, one of the best women's players of all time. And my daughter gets to, play with under her and her husband, which is really cool. So we were in San Diego this weekend for a tournament, which isn't the point of my story. The point of my story is La Jolla is my favorite
love La
place in
Jolla,
the world because the water's like 72 degrees. We went snorkeling. My wife and my 2 youngest kids, Sam and Naomi, we went snorkeling with leopard sharks.
Oh, my
And
God.
it was so freaking cool.
Really?
Yeah,
Wild
they're
leopard
swimming
sharks?
Yeah,
Wild?
wild leopard sharks. Yeah, they're all over in La Jolla by the cliffs there. They come there. I learned something cool. They rub their bellies on the warm sand, the pregnant ones, and it speeds up their pregnancy by 3 months.
Wow.
Holy
Oh, my
smokes.
gosh.
So during certain times of the year, La Jolla is always packed full of leopard sharks. They're not dangerous. They're bottom feeders. They don't get that big.
Are these the same ones that when we were younger, we'd go to that beach and there'd be the sharks? I remember a friend of the show,
I don't
James.
know if those were leopard sharks or just different, sand sharks. They might have been small leopard sharks. But it was so much fun, and I would recommend that if you're ever in La Jolla.
Do you guys pet them and everything, or just leave them alone, or what?
You don't
Or
want
can
to
you pet
pet them. I
Okay.
don't think you'd want to. That's the
So you don't want
only
to
way
get
you
the
might
sand
get
and
bit.
rub it on their bellies for them? No.
You want to
No.
speed up?
And they stay on the bottom, so I mean, you would have to swim down to even get
okay.
close to them. They're not coming up towards you. So we saw a guitar shark, which I'd never even heard of. That
What
was
was he
a
playing?
pretty
Wow.
big shark.
Was he playing like Elvis?
Surprisingly, he was playing the harmonica, which was ironic.
Very strange.
Yeah.
But it was a good time. San Diego is a great city. We went to a Padres game.
Oh, man. Did you
Wow.
really?
Yeah, I went to a Padres
Man,
game.
you guys do all the fun stuff without me. It's
Really
ridiculous.
cool
Some
stadium.
family.
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh, I got a quick update. Jeremy, Jeremy
Elvis?
Jeremy Elvis Pierce.
Jeremy Elvis
yeah.
Pierce, yeah.
His shows are selling out.
Yeah, I saw that.
'Cause
Yeah.
I was going to take my wife, and before I can get a ticket, his show sold out.
You know,
Really? Wow.
you know why he's selling out, though, right?
Because everyone wants to get out.
It was because he was on our show.
Oh,
that
that's
was
probably
mainly
true.
why.
That makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense now.
Yeah, I heard beforehand they were like, we're not sure. After the
Yeah.
show, just blew up.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wish I could agree with you on that, but yeah, that that guy sells them out left and right. Yeah,
Yeah, I
you
saw
have
some-
to get there early.
Yeah, I
You
saw
gotta get
some
in
video
early.
of him doing Elvis, and it's just like freaking Elvis. 'cause
Yeah, he
has
does
the
a
face
great.
and all the whole,
yeah.
he looks just like
He
him.
does a great job, and like he said, he's not necessarily impersonating, like doing the moves or this. He's just giving an experience, and it's amazing. He does an amazing job.
He
so.
does the moves
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
But he's not one of those guys who says, "I am Elvis." He goes like, "I'm be doing a tribute to Elvis."
Yeah,
But he's selling out his show, so if you want to see an amazing Elvis show, get on there quick and get his tickets.
business picks of the week. I got one. You guys have any? Any business picks of the
Not
week?
offhand.
No, I haven't gone anywhere.
Best of the West Wrestling.
Well, yeah, them too. They'll be on. I have one. This was my pick actually from a couple weeks ago, but I'm going to update it. At the business day at the factory, we had a catering. We had catered for 200 people.
Man, really, for your employees?
Yeah.
I want a job.
Oh my gosh, we paid.
Yeah.
You know what? We don't offer a bonus like KFC, but
Oh,
we have great catering. We got a Ben Smokin' Barbecue in.
Oh, we talked about them.
Yeah, they came in. They catered for 200 people. They brought St. Louis ribs, rib tips, tri-tip, chicken,
Oh my
macaroni and cheese, rice, chili, bread, salad. It was freaking awesome.
All for like $25.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta say, so we had that. What was that on Father's Day? We
Yeah.
had Ben Smokin', And those ribs, I still think about them.
Yes.
Really?
Because the ribs, I mean, everything was good. Everything
wake
was
up
really
in
good.
the middle of the night and
but
rub your
those
stomach and
ribs,
say,
I was like, I wish I still could. I wish, when food is so good and you're full and you wish, I wish I wasn't full. I just want to keep
eat
eating
more,
this.
just
Yeah,
eat more,
that's what
yeah.
it was like
Yeah.
with those ribs.
Well, now here's the question of the hour though. So I'm sure you brought all those leftovers here and put them in the no focus fridge.
Oh
right?
my gosh! What's funny is, strangely enough, I do have some of the no focus fridge.
Let's do it.
So, but yeah, we're gonna have them on the show pretty soon. Here,
Yeah.
we want to book them because my update though was they're great to go get food, but if you have a business or if you need catering, reach out to them because they did a really great job. They came, they brought the plates, they set up, they brought the chafing dishes, the whole deal.
How big was like your factory? Like how many people? How big did they?
We
how
had
much
about
food did they bring?
So we had about 100, and we estimated 200. We had about 150.
Okay. Wow.
Everybody had multiple plates of food, and every single one of them took food home to their families.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
And we still had multiple trays of ribs and tri-tip.
So
and
these guys
macaroni
can
and cheese.
handle it. I mean,
Dude,
he's not messing around.
It's
He
him
can
and his
handle
wife.
it.
They do it all, and they were like just busting their butts to get this done. It
Wow.
was really,
That's
it was really
amazing.
well done. And sometimes you cater for that many people. Typically, you're gonna get like
quality
2 or
quality
3
goes
slices
down,
of tri-tip,
Yeah.
some like rice-a-roni, and right. No,
Yeah.
this was like all you can eat best ribs you've ever had in your life. Like you could have as much food as you wanted. It was incredible.
My mom said it was her favorite rice pilaf that she's ever had, and she makes really good rice pilaf.
Yeah.
And I remember the mac and cheese was really good.
Yeah, it was really impressive. So get their food for like lunch, but however, if you need a catering, beer break, there it is. Yeah, so very cool.
If you need a catering, they're the place to go to. That's
Yes.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I can't wait till they come in, man. I'm pretty excited.
Okay, yeah, I'm pretty excited.
By the way, we do have sound. We're good.
Good. I don't know what happened. Actually, I do know what happened, but it's all right. YouTube, this whole live streaming on YouTube's tough because I'm also monitoring this and the cameras.
You're doing a lot there.
and-
You're doing a lot, and it's new to us here.
It's new to us.
It's new.
Yeah.
So we're working out some bugs, and
We're just
thank you
sitting
guys
here
for-
watching you sweat. So
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
We always ask, what can we do? Drink more beer? Is that what?
Yeah.
What can we do to help?
So yeah, that was a good one. Another business pick that I had recently was a DoorDash. You guys know about DoorDash?
heard about them.
I've been really enjoying it because it's so hot outside, and
Yeah.
every once in a while, I don't want to cook, and I don't want to go back outside after I've come home.
Yeah. Sure.
So I just do a little DoorDash here and there, which it's been kind of nice. I don't like the fact that like you order a $10 meal and it's $25 by the time it gets to you. Because they add the tip and the Fresno fee and the taxes and the this, and then you have to tip the drivers and everything. But that being said, we have a special guest on today, and I'm very excited about this. His name is Josh. Josh, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me?
Oh, we can. We sure can. We have Josh. It's the last name Dutson, correct?
That is correct.
This is Josh Dutson from Best of the West Wrestling. You guys have heard us talk about them just repeatedly because we had such a great time at the last event, Only Slams. And Josh, thanks for coming on, man.
Oh, not a problem. Thank you for having me.
So, Josh, I just to kick this off really quickly, tell me kind of what your role is with Best of the West, and let's start there.
Sure. Well, I'm one half of ownership of Best of the West. I also am lead production, so the video wall, the lights, music, all that stuff, I tend to handle, and then I also help with concessions and make sure, like basically on show days, I'm pretty much lead operations manager. I kind of handle a bunch of the stuff, and then the other half of management tends to handle, the wrestling side of things.
Gotcha.
That's awesome. Hey, really quick, if somebody's listening and they don't know what Best of the West Wrestling is, how would you describe it if someone came up to you and asked, what is Best of the West Wrestling? How would you describe it?
Well, the way I would describe it, I mean, we've been around since 2016, and we've kind of morphed into where we're at now, which is basically, it's like studio wrestling that used to happen back in the 80s, but it's with a modern take on it. We're kind of PG-13. I mean, you guys saw when you came to Only Slams, we packed that building, and it makes 200 people sound like 1,000 people.
Yeah.
So it's nonstop fun from the moment you get there all the way till it's time to go home.
Man, I can't tell you how much fun I had. And like you said, PG-13, you can bring kids there. I saw a lot of families. The wrestlers were really conscious of, they're not like foul language, nothing too risque. And the way they were interacting with the crowd, that's what makes it, I think, even better than, going to the Save Mart Center and seeing WWE or something. Because you're talking to the wrestlers, they're talking back at you. It was so much fun.
Well, what's funny is that in our building, the way we have it set up is that when you go to like a WWE show and you're sitting front row, you're still, 15 feet away from the ring. But when you come to our show, you're, 6 feet away, and the wrestlers are walking in front of you. We don't have barricades. You can, heckle the wrestlers all you want, cheer the good guys, boo the bad guys. And then, like, during intermission, you can go out to the merch tables. The wrestlers will be out there selling T-shirts and pictures and the whole thing. So after you get done booing or cheering them, you can go and talk to them during intermission. It's nice. Like, I can say there honestly isn't a bad seat in the house at Best of the West.
Yeah, Josh, I thought I didn't know what to expect. And so when we showed up, I thought it was so cool to be able to, like Don said, that there was all these families, there was moms with their kids, and to be able, I really didn't understand just the incredible fan base you already have, and showing up and seeing everybody, knowing the names and chanting for the chanting for the wrestlers, or knowing the certain things to say to them. Like the one guys came out, and I don't remember their names, but they all just started yelling like, "Where's the muscle?" And it wasn't just like one or two, like everybody knew to yell that at this guy. And it was just so fun. And me not knowing, these wrestlers, I could just jump right in, and I was screaming at them as well. Like, "Yeah, where's your muscle?" It was so fun.
Oh, it's great. It's nice because we've been going, since 2016, and when the pandemic hit, it was really hard because like, oh man, we can't have live events. We got to slow down because we also run a training facility as well for, to train professional wrestlers, and we had to slow down on training days, and it got really difficult. And we're hoping then when we decided to run Only Slams, leading up to it, me and the other ownership were going, oh man. We really hope people are really ready for a wrestling show and they're not too scared to come out and still have entertainment, because even now concerts are getting canceled one by one throughout, the fall and then going into next year. They're being postponed until next year. But when we saw the response that we got when we put tickets on sale, we're like, oh, well, great, people are ready for wrestling. Let's give them a really good show. And we've seen, we always have that same core group of fans that come every show. And we've had them since the beginning, but we especially noticed at Only Slams there are a lot of new faces. And we really hope to see those new faces again every show, just because, maybe here in the near future we might get a larger building where we can fit 500 people. And, it can only grow from there, and we'd like to be the homegrown Fresno-based wrestling promotion for not just Fresno, but for also the Central Valley and eventually California.
Yeah, and I speaking of just kind of how you have a large fan base who've been around. I mean, I read a little bit of try to catch up about kind of you and Best of the West. You have a long history in your family with wrestling, correct? Your mother was associated with wrestling.
Yeah. Well, my mom, when she was a kid, it was actually my grandparents that kind of had gotten that together, and it was just by weird happenstance. And when I hadn't heard the story when I was a kid. I mean, if you'd like, I can tell it. Basically, my grandparents were Armenian. I'm half Armenian. They went to a massage therapist in Dinuba, and turns out he was also a wrestler, and he wrestled as Ali Baba. And during the 60s, Roy Shire stuff from San Francisco would come down to the Fresno area, and they would wrestle in the news studios, and they'd air it on TV as big-time wrestling. So there are guys like Pat Patterson, Ray Stevens, Pepper Gomez, a bunch of those guys would usually come through the town and wrestle in the news studio. But because my grandparents knew Ali Baba, wrestlers are never going to give up. They're never going to say no to free anything. Free ride, free food, doesn't matter. They'll take it. So when my grandparents would say, "Hey, why don't you come over to my house? We'll cook you, traditional Armenian dinner." The wrestlers like, "Absolutely. We will come and eat free food before we head back to the Bay Area." So they would go to, they'd come to my grandparents' house in Sunnyside, eat dinner, and joke around, have fun, and then take off back to the Bay Area. And I didn't really know about this until I started training to become a professional wrestler myself in 2016. And I just randomly, my mom goes, "Hey, did you ever know that guys like Pepper Gomez would come to your grandparents' house and eat dinner?" And I go, "No, why?
Oh,
why would they come to Papa's house?" And it's like, "Oh yeah, no." Then she starts telling me all this. I was like, "Oh, well then I have to do this. I have no choice but to do this."
That's great.
That is so cool.
Unbeknownst to me, it runs in my family, and it's only taken 2 generations before you finally get involved and become a wrestler, and now she's happier than she could possibly be about it.
That's
So,
cool.
so is she at the shows then? Is she at the shows? When you
No, not at all.
oh.
No, she came to one show, and she goes, "Oh, there's just too many people. I don't know if I can do this." It's like, all right, that's fine. You came to one. That's all that matters.
Yeah, because August 14th is the Bad Bone 2 tournament that you're having in Fresno, right?
Bad to the bone.
Bad to the Bone, sorry. And anyways, all the VIPs are already sold out, but you still have
No,
some
you're all right.
general seating. And it's really neat how it took off, because when we went there, to be honest, we
Yeah.
went there as kind of a goof because we thought, oh, Fresno wrestling. But you guys blew us away. And one of the things I really enjoyed about it is I used to go to
thank you.
WWF and
Thank
watch
you.
Hulk Hogan and all this stuff.
Yeah, you were talking about
Yeah.
the big time wrestling.
But
you
I
were
like
doing.
Best of the West better because, like, when Funny Bone won the belt, he went around and high-fived, fist bumped everybody. Then he went out to the concession stand and talked to everyone.
Wow.
At
wow.
WWF, you never saw them except in the ring. And so
Yep.
you guys had this intimacy with the wrestlers that is just hard to imagine, anywhere else.
Well, what we like to do is, it's, because like with WWE, you pay your ticket, you pay for your ticket, you buy, $18 soda and hot dog, and, you sit, you're 80 feet away from the ring, and you watch the matches, and then it's over, and you go home. Maybe you can go out to the back and see some of the wrestlers as they leave. But for us, we want everything to be an experience. So when you come to one of our shows, not only are you 6 to 8 feet away from the wrestlers, right there in the action, but you're also have the ability to go and talk to them and get pictures with them, get their autograph. It's great because you're not just paying for a ticket to go in to watch live wrestling. You're going to because you're paying for a ticket and also much more. And we like to give as much value as we possibly can, and we feel that having that intimate experience, especially in Fresno, where, let's be honest, there really isn't anything like that, we like that. We like being that place where you can come and be a part of the show.
Yeah,
And be, take pictures with your favorite wrestlers and just run amok, because cheer and boo and be loud, because, it's again, it's so close. You're right up against everybody. And you're face to face with them in the ring. It's the experience like no other.
It's all part of the fan experience. Yeah, it's amazing, right?
'Cause
Yeah.
I was blown away when I just watched
yeah.
Super Beast wrestle, and then Crystal came out and another wrestler, and then I look over and Super Beast is next to me filming Crystal wrestle because she's part of the Super Beast compound.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah. Yeah, no, Super Beast is a big dude, and that's I love Super Beast to death. He's literally, if you were to think of a professional wrestler, that's who you think of. The dude's like a tree.
Yeah, he's huge.
So I got a couple questions for you. Funny thing happened when we were at your show. There was a little kid who kept screaming, "Kick him in the face! Kick him in the face!" And eventually the crowd started chanting, "Listen to the kid! Listen to the kid!" So I want to know if you could think of what are some of the most funny chants
Yeah.
that you remember crowds yelling at the wrestlers.
So of them, honestly, most of them involve Funny Bone because he's very good at commanding an audience. There's been, let's see, during one match, his opponent said that he had the balls to face Funny Bone, and the crowd just decided to start chanting, "He's got balls." And that took off for about 30 seconds of just the crowd chanting, "He's got balls."
That's great.
Yeah, we've had the crowd decide to chant things like, kick him in the dick, again, for Funny Bone. It's just, or lick his face, just anything. And again, most of the time it's with Funny Bone, and he's the kind of guy you can't tell him, hey, you can't be saying this kind of stuff out in front of a crowd. Please limit the F-bombs to like one.
Right.
And you can't tell him that. So we just kind of let him do his own thing.
Yeah, because when Funny Bone was in Fresno, he dropped a lot of F-bombs, but the crowd loved it, and it was funny, and the kids probably heard it from their parents anyways.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the way we see, we're not being obscene. It's just the F word. So, it could be a lot worse.
Yeah, but he really engages the crowd. Like, the crowd really loves Funny Bone. He's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. No, he's one of my favorite people, inside the ring and outside of the ring.
Well, I was going to say, unfortunately, I didn't get to go that night, so I didn't get to see you guys live.
Loser.
I know, and I'm really sad. I'm going to go. I'm going to go in August, though, for sure. I'm going to be there.
Now. Get your ticket now.
I got to get my ticket. I'm going to go, and I'm going to take my daughter. I'm glad to hear that it's a family show because I want to take my daughter. She's 6 years old, so, I want to take her. I'm glad it's a family event. I want to, I think she's going to love it. But the thing is, too, I watched you guys on YouTube. And I watched the matches on YouTube, and the energy actually came through the TV. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I was into the matches, probably, almost as if I was there live, just watching these guys go at it. I mean, the energy is still there. So you can tell you guys do an amazing job,
Oh, thank you. It's many countless hours of editing, because I'm also the one because I'm head of production, I'm also the one that does the editing for our shows. So it really is a labor of love to make that energy come through and make you feel like, hey, I'm at this event, you know what I mean? So it really helps, and especially with the addition of commentary as well with our commentary team, because then that just adds a whole other level to it.
Yeah. Who were some of your influences? What made you want to get into professional wrestling? Who did you love to watch growing up?
Man, I mean, it's weird. I started watching because I'm 30, I'll be 37 this year, and so I started watching at the very tail end, like '89, and I vaguely remember watching like Hulk Hogan and stuff like Paul Orndorff and stuff like that, and then not watching it for a while and getting back into it in like '94 and seeing, The Undertaker.
Yeah.
The Undertaker's where it's at. So I started watching got in. Watching him, but then I started watching a lot of older WCW stuff, and like Cactus Jack, and then the Dungeon of Doom, just because it was silly. And I started it went from just enjoying the wrestling to actually appreciating it for what they're doing. And I watched all the way through the '90s. I still love Mick Foley. When I don't have this giant beard, I bite $1 for every time someone says, you look like Mick Foley. I'd be like, it's ridiculous. But Terry Funk is another good one. I'm all over the place on favorite wrestlers or people that got me into it. There's different guys for different reasons. You know what I mean? Like, I like this guy because I like Terry Funk because he did. He was believable and he would cut a really good promo and he'd make you believe what he was saying. And then I like Mick Foley because you wouldn't believe the things that he was doing and why he would possibly do these things to himself.
Yeah, that guy was insane.
So
he would he would do anything. Yeah. I remember the Undertaker throwing him through the cage onto a table full of thumbtacks that was insane. My son watched that and I think was traumatized by it because how violent it was. Yeah, that was cool. Hey, if you ever need anyone to do a mediocre Hulk Hogan impression, I might be your guy. I don't look like Hulk Hogan. I mean, I don't have a 24-inch, the 24-inch pythons. Do strangely have a very strong sphincter muscle though. But no, but listen to this. Let me see.
Good night, everybody.
I have been told that I have a
You gotta
24-inch
keep the
python.
drawstring strong.
So let me see if you think this is any good.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. Me and Mean Gene, one time, Mean Gene, somebody just defaced the American flag, brother. What you gonna do when 25,000 Hulkamaniacs are raining down on you, brother?
That's pretty good. That was good. It's like I'm in Florida right now being yelled at by Hulk Hogan at his beach store.
Yeah, if you want somebody for your voicemail, maybe they could do it. This is Hulk, and leave a voicemail.
So, are you still wrestling?
Oh, yeah. Start cameo. Off and on, like during training, I'll get in the ring with the students, but until I can find somebody to fill my production responsibilities, I stay behind the scenes.
Right.
But yeah, I can definitely still have a match.
So let's say some kid's really big and wants to be a wrestler. What would he go about doing to become a wrestler for Best of the West?
Yeah. Well, how old? Because I mean, with the way we do things, I mean, I'll be very frank. We are hitting each other. Wrestling. When people say wrestling's fake,
It's not.
there's certain facets of it that might be a little off. But I'm gonna be honest, man. Getting hit hurts. Getting clothesline hurts. Running the ropes hurts. Just running the ropes will leave marks on your back. When I started wrestling, I did the open house that they had held, and then I want to say 2 days later, I got the after effects of doing all of just the basic exercises and everything that goes on with wrestling, and muscles I didn't know I had hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So I'll be honest, it does pay to be in somewhat physical shape. But if you're over 18, they can come on down, watch a training session. Just because we don't want to fool anybody or make anybody think that it's easy, because it's not. I mean, the first 20 minutes of wrestling training in just alone is nothing but cardio.
Mm-hmm.
So before we actually even start any actual wrestling, it's just nothing but moving for the first half hour. And then from there, it's like, all right, now we move on to doing wrestling things. And then the last half hour of training is everyone's favorite, more cardio. So it's rough. But, I mean, if they're interested, they can contact us on our Facebook, Instagram, send us a message from our website, BOTW.TV. And, they can contact us. We'll talk to them about it. They can come in, meet with us. They can watch a training session, and we can go from there. Tuition is really affordable, all things considered, especially when we have other wrestlers that come to train with us, and they've been training for a while, but they've moved to the Fresno area and they want to keep the ring rust off. They'll go, oh, well, how much do you charge for tuition? We let them know it's just $500, and then $100 a month in dues. That just helps us pay rent and keep the lights on. And they go, oh wow, well that's really cheap considering I paid $1,200 something over in Kentucky or whatever.
Wow.
So we make it affordable. We're honest. I will say again, it hurts. We've learned that you have to be a little weird to want to be a wrestler, because nobody normal just wants to throw themselves into a ring, get clothesline, drop kicked, chopped, punched. No one normal wants to do that. You have to be just a little broken. And it's nice. It's a lot of fun for me anyway.
Now,
And actually, a lot of our students, we had a guy that came in. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, we had a student come in that literally all his experience was just dance. He's like, I was a break dancer, and he could do like the robot and a couple other things. And we said, okay, but you want to be a wrestler? He goes, yeah, it sounds fun. He's probably shown, he's one of the guys that's shown the most promise from his class, because he's fit, he can move, he's flexible. So, it's incredible. Now all he does is consume wrestling. Just any wrestling match, he will watch it and consume it and soak it in. So it's a lot of fun, especially if this is something you want to do. If you want to perform in front of people, but in such a unique way to where you do actually get to well, it's like you get to connect on people on a different level than, you know, being a musician or a stand-up comedian or a salesman or somebody that works at a fast food restaurant, you know, in a drive-through. Like, this is like the most unique job that I've probably ever had, and I've had like a dozen jobs. And I got to say, like, this one is the most unique and rewarding job that I've probably ever had.
During
Now-
a normal season when there's not COVID, how many shows would the, you know, wrestlers, let's say Best of the West wrestlers, how many shows would a wrestler do, let's say, in a month?
Well, so it depends. I can say that for Best of the West, under normal circumstances, we do a show every month.
Okay.
This year, however, November, December, we're going to take off just to kind of not have to worry about the holidays and let everybody spend time with their family and get that stuff out of the way, and not have to stress about, you know, competing with the holidays, because live events during November, December don't really do that great. So we just decided, you know, we'll take a break and come back strong in January. But because we also book talent that comes from, like, Funny Bones from Las Vegas. So he will come in and do our shows, you know, once a month, but he's also possibly doing 4 or 5 other shows that month at the same time.
Yeah.
I know a lot of our guys, under normal circumstances, they probably work 6 times a month. And they go to some of our students might not just work Best of the West, but they'll go to the Bay Area and work Action Coast Pro Wrestling or Pacific Coast Wrestling or East Bay Pro or any of the other schools or promotions that we have a good relationship with.
Yeah.
So once if people want to come train, once they're trained, we help them to get booked in other promotions throughout the state and beyond. That way, if they become successful, then hey, we train them. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Well, hey, Josh, I got a question for you, though. For a guy who maybe doesn't want to going back to training here for a minute,
Yeah.
for a guy who doesn't want to maybe get hit that much, do you guys have any training
Yeah,
for
no problem.
referees?
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, but I mean, there always has to be somebody to count 1, 2, 3. So there's always a need for that. We do train referees, but however, I have to be honest though, referees are required to do the same drills that the wrestlers do, because you have to be in just as good a shape, or at least in decent shape, to be a referee, because you're not doing as much, running and jumping and ducking and everything that a wrestler's doing, but you are running around the ring, dropping down,
Yeah.
to check their shoulders, count to 3, try and get them to release illegal chokehold, stuff like that. So you're moving just as much.
How much is it as far as to sign up to be a referee? What's the cost on that?
Referee, it'd be $250 and still the same $100 a month in dues.
All right, okay.
See, actually, I
pretty
read
awesome,
this
actually.
because I got on social media and I've been following a lot of the wrestlers, and it's amazing because they'll reply to you and they'll talk with you on social media. But a couple of referees posted on there, and refereeing's not easy. A referee can ruin a match easily, and a referee kind of sets the tone for a match. So the referee is almost, if not as important as the wrestlers.
Wow.
So it's not an easy gig. It really is.
It's a certain skill set.
Oh,
then,
definitely,
you
yes.
know. Wow, nice.
So when let's say you're taking
Yeah,
classes, how
You
often?
have to beg your pardon? Oh, how often are our classes?
Yeah.
Yeah, we train on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then sometimes the weekends are optional.
Awesome.
But, on the weekend, some of the students will go, oh, who wants to come in on Saturday and get some cardio in and work on stuff? So, because we have a training group chat that we all communicate in. But Mondays and Wednesdays from 5:30 to usually around 8 p.m.,
Okay.
we'll train at the Best of the West studio.
Stu over here, Stu Pedasso, does kickboxing. He's in pretty good shape. He's strong. He was in the Navy. He's got a good Santa Claus beard going. Any room for an older wrestler named Papa Noel, possibly, in Best of the West?
No, I've seen them wrestle, and they get hurt way too much. I don't have that level of pain tolerance as they do, man. I would die.
Yeah, I know we have a couple that have been through, through the MMA background, but they realize that, oh man, this is way harder than we thought.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, you're welcome to try, but you got to keep up.
No, because I was watching the matches, and especially with Funny Bone, who would just whack those guys across the chest. People who would, if someone climbed up on a turnbuckle and did a flip in the air and landed on me, I would be dead. I mean, that would be it. My kid would have to drag my body home, and it would just be ugly. So no, I've seen it up close at Best of the West. It's horribly painful, and it's amazing. They're amazing athletes, and you would just have to be. Have a high tolerance for pain and just be in fantastic shape to do that. I respect
You're
you
happy
guys
sitting in the seats on that one.
I love watching it. Yeah, I'll watch it all day long.
All right. Before we let you go, Josh, thank you so much for being with us. I do have one more question. And I was watching a documentary one time, and it was Hulk Hogan talking about, I think he was in Japan. It was a long time ago. He was wrestling Andre the Giant, and they used to do this thing where Andre would stand on Hulk's stomach, all 600 pounds of Andre, however much he weighed, standing on Hulk's stomach. Well, Hulk had an upset tummy that day, and when Andre stood on him, just diarrhea spilled out of Hulk Hogan all over the ring. So I was wondering, what's the funniest thing or the weirdest thing you've ever seen happen in one of your shows or maybe a wrestling event you've been involved in?
Oh man, there's so many things. But see, the thing is though, is that a lot of them happen backstage. So I can't spill the tea on those.
Sure.
But there's always, but it's like the worst thing I can probably say is after a match a wrestler will come back, and I don't want to name names because that's just rude. But a wrestler came back from his match, and he came back to where I was in the back, and he was just really upset, and he's cussing and screaming and pacing back and forth. I'm like, hey, what's wrong? And he goes, man, that guy stinks. And I went, what? He goes, that guy, he just stinks. I don't know what it is. I don't know what he has on him, but now it's on me, and I'm not going to get it off. It's not going to be off of me, and I don't know what to do about this.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm like, well, just go take a shower. And he's like, no, this is me now. Like, this is my life. I'm not going to get this off.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's great, man. That's great.
Oh, goodness.
Well, hey, Josh, no, I was going to say, man, we appreciate you coming on and spending time with us today and talking about it. And I can't wait to actually see the next show. I'm really excited about it.
Thank you for having me.
Now, what's that show called again? It's Bad to the Bone?
Bad to the Bone.
Oh, good, man. I can't wait to see you on the 14th.
Yeah.
So, that is Best of the West presents Bad to the Bone, taking place at the Best of the West Studios. Address is 5766 East Mountain Way, Suite 101. If you look like you're in a neighborhood where there's a bunch of auto shops, you're in the right place.
That's right.
Don't be confused.
And you have a website, and your website is?
BOTW.TV.
That's awesome.
That's where you can go and purchase tickets, find out information on recent events. It has our YouTube links up so you can catch up on our latest episodes on YouTube.
Nice.
Josh, thank you, man, so much. What we're going to do is we're going to make sure we tweet and post those links up for everybody. Really, I have been singing, all of us have been singing the praises of going there. I'm probably going to be bringing, at this point, like 10 people to the show with me just because I've just told so many people how awesome it is. So I'm so glad that we were able to discover Best of the West, and it's been a pleasure meeting you. So just really looking forward to seeing more of your work and everything you built.
Hey, thank you very much, man. The more the merrier. The bigger the crowd, the better the show.
Awesome.
That's right, yeah.
Well, hey, man,
And I love having you guys, and I can't wait to see you again on the 14th.
That's right. All right, man. Hey, we'll see you soon. Get out of that hot car, and we'll be seeing you on the 14th.
Hey, thank you very much, guys, for having me. Have a good evening.
Yeah,
All
you
right,
as
you too,
well.
man. Thanks.
Thank you, Josh.
Bye.
Take care.
So Josh, super cool dude.
Super cool dude,
Awesome,
man.
man.
That was
awesome.
really cool.
I can't wait to
So,
go now.
I
I'm
think I
super
remember
excited.
seeing him walking around, and he
Yeah.
was doing all those things he said. He's the kind of guy that makes the show run.
Yep.
He was carrying stuff to the concession stands. He was making sure everything was on. He's got a hard job.
That is a
making
hard
the
job.
production,
Really hard.
editing, all that stuff. And he puts on a good show. I mean, it doesn't it does not feel like you're at some amateur thing. It feels like professional wrestling, just on a smaller scale.
Well,
It's
and he
really
even said
cool.
he did the editing on the YouTube, and I did. I watched, and if you guys get a chance out there listening, watch the YouTube. And it's amazing. I mean, just the energy, everything just comes through. The announcers are amazing,
Right.
the energy of the match, and Josh did a great job putting those together. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. So very, very excited to go see.
Maybe we'll see some of our No Focus fans out there. August, was it 14th?
August
14th.
14th. I have my tickets. Do you guys have your tickets?
Not
I'm
yet.
getting them.
Did you get
Ooh.
VIPs?
I'm
No,
getting
they're
them.
sold out.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I got normal tickets.
Yeah, I'm gonna
So,
have to get normal tickets.
Maybe
Yeah.
we can have a. Oh, you know what they should do? For the VIP seats, if they're sold out, they should have a fan wrestling match, and the winner gets to sit in the VIP
Oh
section.
my gosh,
Oh, Josh, if you're listening, let's make that happen.
that'd be killer. Oh my gosh. Well, show's actually about to come to a close. So once again, I want to say, Josh, really thank you for being on the show. Everybody listening, that is BOTW.TV, Best of the West Wrestling. Make sure you go check them out. Be there for Bad to the Bone on August 14th.
Yeah, come
Yep,
out and support them, because there's nothing like it in Fresno. And if you think, oh, it's not going to be good, it's just some small thing in Fresno, you are so wrong. It
Yeah.
is.
And
Yeah,
you
it
guys
is
said,
awesome.
I mean, they give you your entertainment value even as far as how long the show was, right? How long was it?
yeah.
Was it, Marty?
I don't know. We were out of there at about 10.
How many matches
Yeah,
you saw?
so you're
From
there.
what, like five.
You're
Maybe like
4.5
6?
hours, man.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
probably
Yeah, 6 or 7.
7
But,
or 8 matches. I
Yeah,
believe.
because when we were there, first match, we were all sucked in. Because we thought
Yeah.
it was a goof.
It was one of the more athletic,
Yeah.
really cool matches of the night. The first
and,
match.
we were sucked in from the very first when they started. We were going, holy crap! This has everything. This is great. It has all the drama, the hitting, the jumping. It's fantastic.
I like you said. I thought you might tell Josh how your son was like. How come everyone's booing? How do you know who to boo for? Why are we booing for him? Oh, he's just the bad guy. You boo for him.
It's all like melodrama theater. Come on.
Yeah.
So he's excited to go again.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I can't wait, man.
All everybody listening, I apologize for the audio issues that we've had throughout the show, and for those of you watching as well. But anyways, it is what it is. We will, on the next show, we'll fix it. So if you're a YouTube watcher, just bear with us. Tune in next week for another riveting edition of the No. What is this? The No Focus
No
Radio
Focus
Hour?
Radio
Still No
The
Hour.
No Focus Radio Hour. I almost called it No Talent. The No Focus Radio Hour.
Brain freeze.
We're talking raisins. We're talking prostate exams. It's going to be
Yeah.
awesome.
It's gonna be a
More Hulk
blast.
Hogan adventures in Japan.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
Papa Noel over here.
Yeah,
I
I know.
think you're going to have a
Great
strong career.
name.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Papa
to do it.
Noel. Here comes Papa Noel. Here comes Papa Noel.
Oh, and remember to like us and rate us on all the podcasts.
Yes, 5 stars
things.
is always the correct number of stars.
That's correct.